Hey everybody, this is Erico here and I am back again. Hope you guys are doing well. Why? Because you're watching this video. Be sure to click the like button, the notification bell, all of that, so you can see me rant randomly and aimlessly about topics pertaining to East Asian pop culture as well as other current events. So this happened about 2 weeks ago, I think now. I might have got a notification on YouTube about this music video, but I bypassed it. Mostly because I am not a huge fan of this group per se. I have given them the time of day, but I'm not a huge fan of like their overall product and the overall sound that they have, and that album that they had too that was so long. Oh, headache. It was just like, I like them in doses, but I don't like them like as an overblown like idea, if that makes any sense. And this group I'm talking about is Miss Green Apple. They've been around since like mid 2000s, 2013. I've known about them for a while. I came across the music. I say this all the time. I might sound like the biggest hater with like music. I didn't really like them at first. I say that with a lot of people. I know someone's like, you say that with a lot of people, but that's how I am. Like, I'm very critical about music and what I like and what I don't like. And so they came across my feed on YouTube. I watched it. I was like, lead singer's voice is kind of screechy and whiny and very high pitched. And I was like, I don't want to watch this song. I went on about my life. And they have come along in the years and just blew up in popularity. They are now one of the biggest J-rock bands in Japan. And I did not see this coming at all, but I'm happy that they worked so hard to come from doing small shows and club scenes to now being like this huge mainstream band. Because we've seen this for like a lot of bands in Japan who maybe get a momentarily popular and then they fade away. But this group actually had sponsorships and actually has like a die-hard fan base behind them. And they are seen as like top tier. During this whole situation that happened, they even had a #1 song. And the #1 song, I actually like that song. And that's like the type of music that they come out with that I like, so I was happy about that. But they are in the process of promoting for the sponsorship of Coca-Cola. And they also were releasing a single called Columbus. And in this video, it shows the members dressed up like the famous explorers that went and sought out all these lands that were seen as unknown to them. At the time, they really weren't unknown, but to them they were seen as being unknown from the white gaze, and they went to these lands and basically took over the lands, disrespected the people. So they wanted to recreate this history and this idea by having them dress up as these explorers and also have the so-called native people rejoice with them, but not really rejoice with them, kind of have them like they are ignorant savages, animals, monkeys, all of that awful culturally insensitive idea that you can think of. Eesh. Oh, ugh. This is a lot to unpack. And I'll say this right now, I didn't actually watch the actual video. I saw the notification when it did go up. Didn't watch it. This monstrosity did not get my view or my like or anything like that. I came back and I saw the articles about this music video and the song and how it was actually surprisingly, it's so funny because Japanese people even called it out. Because I guess it's like, if we're going to talk about historical facts and basing your theme on that idea, you have to understand that there's some things that are very sensitive about said history because that history is set in stone. So, you know, the lead singer of Miss Green Apple came out and said that he wanted to direct and create this storyboard for the music video where the native people and these explorers were together and had a good time and partied and enjoyed each other's company. But it doesn't really make too much sense. And this would have been okay had they just used normal people. They could even have dressed up as Christopher Columbus and just had Japanese people in the background, like dancing and doing the happy, wacky, ganky thing that they love to do. That would have been okay. But where did the monkey suits and the animal suits come from? They look like a cross between a monkey and a bear. I'm confused. And their front man, we're just gonna call him Mr. Green Apple. Mr. Green Apple thought this was okay, and it was seen as alright. I don't understand. I felt very taken back, and then I felt very uncomfortable. Because I'm the type of person, I always say this, I don't go off of what other people say about things that happen online. I don't jump on any type of train. I don't jump on anyone's thought. Like, a whole bunch of people can say something online, and I will look into it myself before I have any type of opinion. I don't care. My opinion is my opinion. It was this whole message of this being like super racist, or this being like the most racist video. I don't know about that. That's a bit of a stretch to me. I saw someone's commentary and they were like, this is like the most racist video of the year. I'm like, you're not black. You don't know the black experience. We could go on X right now and see a whole bunch of racist stuff. We could go on Twitch and see a whole bunch of racist stuff. We could go on Beyonce's internet and see a whole bunch of racist stuff. It comes with the territory. This is not, especially coming from a black person, this is not the most racist video. But it is important that when talking about people who are minorities or people of color, indigenous people, that the imagery that you use is correct and is seen in a sensitive way, because especially black people, Indian people, our image has been used as a mockery and a joke for so long. So when a black person sees like a monkey or an ape, when Indian people see certain people mocking them with, the arrows and the feathers in their hair, it triggers something in them because it's seen throughout history as a joke. And this Columbus video aided to this idea. And that's where I felt very, very, very uncomfortable deep in the cracks of my heart. Like, I just looking at the screenshot, not even the video, and then seeing like the clips from people talking about it and giving their commentary. This is not something that should have been touched, I feel like, especially when it comes to bringing in the native people, because the history is that these people were killed, were sexually assaulted, were given diseases, were stripped of their land, of their culture. We look back at holidays like Thanksgiving, the real actual history behind that, and how the people who, this was their home, they were just treated awfully. And this history still remains. It's not a history that you make fun of, because it is a history that has built the foundation of America. Now, a lot of people don't like to talk about or admit it, but it is true. Slavery built the foundation of America and American society. A lot of people like to say, well, that's in the past, but no, a lot of the same traits of what Columbus did, what happened to black people, is in the makeup of American society and culture. Now, I do think there's Japanese people that somewhat understand this, but they'll never truly understand this because they come from a homogeneous society. So they're only going to see it from the outside looking in, but I think that there were people on Japanese social media that understood enough to be like, yeah, this is kind of culturally insensitive. This is a bit much. Like, what was the point of you doing something like this when it's such a sensitive topic? And when this history bleeds down into the makeup of society today, especially for Americans, especially for just the United States. and then for them to try to use that history as a way to create something that was like wacky and funny and cool, which freedom of expression, you should be able to express what you want to. But you also should be prepared for people to also express their opinions and their emotions toward your art of expression. So they ended up taking the video down. The video wasn't even up a full day, I don't think. And then they came with an apology. And, you know, they were saying that, yeah, it was very insensitive. It's not what we meant to do. I blame their label and the people that are in their camp as far as the promotion and their management, because someone should have looked at that and said that it wasn't okay. Especially when it comes to talking about culture and cultural history. I would never want someone to disrespect Japan and the history and what they've gone through, even with like the bombings and all of the horror that they've gone through. Like, it's not something you joke about. If black people did it, I would feel the same way. If white people did it, I would feel the same way. You have to be very careful. And I do feel like here that they were very relaxed with this and they weren't careful at all. And they just threw it out there. And also might have been because this is Japan and they felt like, you know, Japanese people would see it. But I'm glad that Japanese people are being more progressive and they are keeping in mind of the world around them and the outside world. And obviously the lead singer of this band did not pay attention to Sensei in their world history class that they have. And they do have segments in high school. You can't tell they do. Sometimes the little segment isn't that big, but you know, they know somewhat about what went on. And for this to just make it past their team and out into Beyonce's internet and social media, and for people to be like, wait a minute. Like, was you taming the monkeys? The monkeys are riding you around on a carriage. The monkeys look ignorant and barbaric and like they're not human. It's like the native people were very human. The native people were not monkeys. They could have done this without the monkey suits. I think the monkey suits are what was like really, really offensive about this. It wasn't needed at all. I don't like the song anyway, so even if I had watched the video, I probably wouldn't have stayed around to the end. I probably would have looked at it and probably seen the imagery, be like, you know, that's kind of problematic, and then kind of went on about my day. We even could talk about the Coca-Cola ad that they did. They could have gone that route with the music video. The Coca-Cola ad is fine with the song Columbus. It's a cute ad. It's dramatic, it's dynamic, and it works. I don't get why they had to go so far out with the actual music video and make it such an experience where it takes away from their music and their talent. So, you know, now people are talking about this and people are going to remember it. I think how they could make this right is that they could just redo the music video. I really think that's what they just redo the music video. And maybe apologize again. So yeah, this is a lot to think about. Do you like Miss Green Apple? What's your favorite song? I like their songs like when it's just like kind of pop rock. I don't like their like super dramatic songs. Like they have like dramatic songs where it feel like I'm inside of a Mario game or anime. I'm not a fan of that type of music. It kind of annoys me, especially like when I checked out their latest album. Ugh, it was so much of it and it kind of got on my nerves, I'm not gonna lie. Follow my social media, mostly my Instagram. Also a blog, Nick Station Pop Culture. The link is always down in the description box below. And remember, be real, stay real, live in the real. And I will always be back. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you again.